Marines getting picked away at, and we're just going to be seeing, again, this Hellion running down the south side again. Continue to move around through the center, and, well, again, the drop just moving around from Optimus to see what else he can get up to here. And there's combat shields going to be finishing, 2 upgrades going to be finishing from Optimus. I'm just going to be seeing those Marines loading back into the medevacs and moving away over to the right-hand side. Tunnel and Claws on the way up on the Roach Roar, and here as you see the +1 melee upgrade is coming through as well. That +2 Carapace also coming up as the Burrow is coming down into play. The Burrow obviously a bit of a unique one. Obviously wants to get those burrowed banelings going. Something we don't see every TVZ. A Spore Crawler here will start to take some damage, and we are going to be getting this Spore picked off. I'm just going to be seeing more of these Lings running in. They're going to get surrounded by these Marines in the next few moments, but they get lifted up as well, backing away to the right-hand side. And there's medevacs backing off, and well, some Hydras are going to come along to try and do a little bit more. A hatchery is going to get dropped down now as well. I'm just going to be seeing more of this creep spread pushing out through the center of the map, all the way through, and just seeing what else might happen as Optimus is just going to load up a couple more medevacs. He doesn't want to push until 2-2 comes into play. 2-2 is his real kind of timing, which will hit before Hive Tech. It's when the Terran is basically at its strongest point, while the Zerg is investing so much into going into Hive. So it can be very, very powerful point to attack, basically. So that's what Optimus is aiming for right now. And just until then, keeping the Zerg busy with drops and some action here and some action there. There's a couple more creep tumors going down. Continue to move on forwards. These creep tumors continue to get picked off. And a few more of these Zerglings going down as Bane's getting demolished here as well. And those medevacs lifting up as well, coming back up to the top side. I'm going to be seeing Optimus just unloading to continue through the top a little bit further. Alright, so just going to be seeing the Lings, Hydras, Ravages as well continue to go along as Marines still kiting backwards here. Medevac's going to load up once again. And as they load up once more, we're going to see another Overlord going down. Roaches are actually going to burrow through underneath and go in towards different bases, and that's where the burrow is going to go. I really didn't think about the time. I mean, I sort of mentioned it was Tunnel and Claws, but I really thought this was going to be more for Baneling Burrow rather than some actual Roaches coming into play from earlier in the game. So here we go, these Roaches are going to pop up as Solo's setting up a larger attack in the center too. Meanwhile, Optimus does cancel a base though, and Solo will go to react to that, as those Roaches are just sat there waiting to strike at the worst possible time, where Optimus is going to have to deal with it, while maybe also taking a larger fight. A few more Banelings on the way up, and as extra Banelings come on in, the Viper will come on up as well. +2 missile upgrades, +2 melee coming into play, Adrenal Glands as well, as this Ultraless Cavern is also going to be finishing in the next couple of moments. This Overlord getting pushed away, Creep Tumors are being taken down. And again, those Zerglings thinking about potentially pushing forwards as the Roaches now pop up, and that's where Optimus has to respond so many places at the same time. His armor is being targeted. I think that's Solo just not paying attention because he's trying to do too much at once. As you are going to be seeing moving around the map here, Optimus continuing to clean on up. There's going to be seeing some snipes coming down. The problem is he's gone into Ghosts already, but Solo isn't really on Ultras and, you know that sort of later game setup yet. And so without that being set up into play, we are going to be seeing this Bane, Hydra, Ravager setup continue to move on forward, and oh my god, 30, 40, 50 workers going down. Oh my god, well, just like that, Optimus is going to fall, and the real issue was just teching into Ghosts a little bit too quickly here in game number 1. He just, you're meant to have like a lot of Ghosts or Ghosts starting to come up against the Ultras, and maybe you meant to deal with the Ultras for a little while with a low number of Ghosts. It just felt like, obviously the Roaches were difficult to deal with, his army was going all over the place, and then again, the Ghosts just don't help him to have enough to really deal with Bane, Hydra sort of timing still, which was what that was. Solo was still just setting up into further Hive Tech. So game number 1 goes the way of Solo here. A victory would put him in a very good position to move through this group. As we have Karasan Rift coming up for map number 2. We're going to jump into this in just a couple of moments. The last time Optimus played in the map test tournament, he's coming in as a replacement as well, and he replaced Harston, I believe, that time. And the last minute he came in, he took a map off of Sue, Hero, and Gumiho, I believe. He took a map off of all 3 of them. That put us into this awkward tiebreaker scenario, which was a little bit unfortunate. Oops, I just invited Snoot. There we go, invite Optimus. That's the player we want to get in here. And Solo's also not in our lobby just yet, so we'll get him in too. And we'll be off on the way into game number 2 of this in just a couple of moments' times. Alright, so again, set up into this in just a couple moments, guys. Getting ready to go into game 2 of this series. Let's see what happens as our players are just joining. We just need to swap one of the players and casters around. And again, Coruscant Rift, another other maps here today coming up. It's going to be interesting to see how this one goes. I actually quite like Coruscant. I feel as though we haven't really seen games to do it justice just yet. This map by Solstice, first time finalist to the map contest. It feels like we haven't seen Treachery in a while. Why haven't we seen Treachery? I think we saw Treachery a lot on the first day, and so we just didn't see it yesterday. Yeah. We're going to see some Treachery today. That's one we definitely need to put in the map pool again. We saw Hero vs. Beyond Treachery yesterday, but it was kind of a fast one, I guess. Alright, anyways, we're going to get this set to go. Players are ready, so we can start up into Coruscant Rift. Again, this map by Solstice. The previous map as well, by the way, or Cerulean Falls, is also by Solstice. Again, to see both of his maps in a row. And kind of cool, because we're getting to see some cool games on them as well. So let's see what happens here as we continue on along back into game in just a few moments. So again, to Coruscant Rift. Let's see what's going to happen as we get this going. Optimus versus Solar. Let's see again just what these players want to get up to. Can Solar take a 2-0 lead, or will Optimus tie up this series? To the bottom right hand side of the map, a yellow Zerg player from Splice. It is Solar. And to the top left hand side, the blue Terran player. It is Optimus. Okay, so setting up into this, looking to see what will happen in the next few moments. As we're going to be seeing a gas first coming down. Not really too crazy. Gas racks is a fairly standard way to open because it allows the factory to finish up at a very... It basically gets the factory down at a good timing to line up with a reactor building and stuff like that as well. So, getting into this, and again, if you're ready for the rest of the day as well, after this, Snoot versus Optimus, followed by Innovation versus Optimus, then Innovation versus Snoot will end our day today. A little bit of a change in match schedule, and obviously we had to replace Puck with Optimus as well. As we get this going, we look to see what will happen here in game number 2, getting set up and ready to roll in the next few moments. Can't follow Overlords either. Apparently that's lazy observing. As we do see this Reaper on the way up at the front, getting set to go. Factory going to drop on down as we set up into game number 2. Again, just the early stages of Coruscant Rift, large macro map here. Options for the third base, and again, I feel as though one of the issues that is going to be present on a lot of these maps, and I really feel it's present on a couple of them, is these just choke points. I mean, how are you ever going to be able to push through these sort of directions? I just don't know if you can. It's a very choked up area. It's very difficult to kind of do. I just don't know how you kind of do that as an aggressor. Now, Solar expands down here, and it's also very choked up. Rocks in play. You know, rocks up here, kind of a pathway up here as well. There's just going to be seeing this Reaper coming in, and just going to be picking his way through those lings, as we are going to be having the damage being dealt here already. A couple of lings going down, and the Reaper continue to push away, or pull away from this natural expansion. Starport on the way up, Tech Lab coming down on the barracks, and we're just going to be seeing the Starport continue to come on in. About halfway done, a Tech Lab on the way up on the barracks as well. As you do again, just see Overlord spreading out in a couple of different directions, and just going to be seeing this link speed continue to come up too. So link speed continue to come on in. A hatchery coming down as well from Solar now on this south side, and just again going to be seeing those Hellions coming across the map from Optimus. See what will happen as well. So, just looking to try and poke on forwards to get some damage done. As we're going to see this Viking on the way up. Overlord coming in towards the main base, and obviously just going to be trying to scout out here in the next few moments. As we're just going to be seeing again Hellions and a Reaper sat around and looking to see what else is happening. 2 more Hellions coming across the map, and we are going to be seeing those gathering up in the next few moments as creep is spreading on forwards. Rotron is on the way down here from Solar. Some extra drones on the way up as well, and a grenade goes down to keep those Queens pinned back. Very nicely done, as again 5 more workers on the way up. Medevac coming through, Viking poking its way through this Overlord, and just trying to deny some vision here, as we're going to be seeing Optimus doesn't throw down Cloak just yet, just going into the Medevac for now. And Solar is going into that Rotron once more. Now as he goes into this Rotron again, he doesn't have gas stacked up, his lairs already started, so he's looking to just go into some, maybe a couple defensive roaches if needed. We'll see if he wants to play the roach style in general. We've seen him really change up his ZVT playstyle multiple times throughout this matches so far today. And as we do see those Hellions just pulling away, pushing back in, another Reaper grenade goes down. And we're just going to be seeing the command center from Optimus coming up on the third as a third CC as well, walling off his natural. Now waiting to see if the gases come down as well, going to be one of the first indicators of whether this is going to be mech or bio. If they don't go down and barracks come down, obviously it's bio. But obviously, with the gases, mech will be expected as this first Hellbite attack will come on through. Behind it, a Liberate again set up, and there's the barracks, so it will be bio as a follow-up. Optimus looking to play that bio style again, maybe looking to play into that later game where that Ghost Liberator style really has been a big part of the gameplay in recent times. We're going to be seeing those couple of Hellbats pulling back up into the center. Zergling's coming through the middle as well. This command center here from Optimus going to be finishing shortly, as we're going to see a few drones continue to come on into play. Sorry, going to get taken out of play. Can't talk, apparently. As you're going to see, Optimus is just going to GG, though, because those Lings run into his mineral lines. And with Lings running into his mineral lines, he's just not going to have a way to survive. He doesn't have any units out at home. He's making like 1 Marine at a time. His factory's not on the reactor. It's building a new reactor. That run by is actually just straight up devastating. Unfortunately, we will not see much more of Karasan Rift. And we're going to be going into our third game now, which is going to be Travancore to wrap up this matchup between Solar and Optimus. So let's get this set up and ready to go. Just gonna get this these invites out there, and we'll be into game momentarily again, guys. Into more StarCraft 2 action. Optimus versus Solar, our third series of the day. This is Solar's last map of the day. Then he'll be done after this one. Currently set at a 1-1 match score. Otherwise in the group, he 3-0'd Snoot. He went 0-1-2 against Innovation. Now 2-0 up against Optimus. He's already won this series, so he will be at a 2-1 match score. Let's see if he can pick up one final map to just help secure him a place in the quarterfinals. As if our players are ready, we'll be off and away into game number 3 to see if Optimus can get a map, or whether it's going to be just a little bit too much, and if Solar will just roll on through. So getting set up, getting going in the next moment or so here. Be off and away momentarily. And as we get that ready to party. Travancore is our map, so let's see what happens. We're going to be in game in just a few seconds. Alright, well, to the top right-hand side, a player who is down by 2 games. Can you get a map on the scoreboard? Again, best of 3, but all maps played because this is a tournament for the map contest, and so seeing the maps is what we prioritize. To the top right, our blue Terran is Optimus. And he is going to send 2 SCVs across the map right away. Yes, the bottom left, our yellow Zerg is Solar. And there is the Treasure Goblin, which you actually lost yesterday, couldn't find it. But here it is once again. This Diablo-themed map by Avex is one of the new maps, and it's new because it looks very standard. This is what I kind of like about it. It's a very standard map, but it's got these kind of walls up that kind of stop you from having vision up or down, even if you have like a medevac, which is really interesting. So it kind of creates like very secluded pathways in comparison to usual, and it really blocks a lot more vision than you're used to. So it does do something a little bit different than what maps usually do, and that's why it was in the new category for the TLMC 10. Alright, so we do see triple racks here from Optimus. He's just going to straight up go for the 3 racks Marine all-in. Not even going for the variant like the 2 racks, which you can kind of macro behind a little bit if you deal a little bit of damage, if you pressure well. So let's see what happens now. As you see those racks coming up, the extractor is dropping down beyond this hatch gas pool. And let's see what Solar will do to deal with this. A fairly long map to get your Overlord across, so it's going to be a little while until Solar realizes, oh my god, what is happening? And it's just going to be seeing this Overlord arrive in a moment or two. A 4 frags dropping down, and Optimus is just looking to kind of just stack up Marines for a while and probably just attack with everything all at once here to make the most of the situation. So a lot of Marines on the way out. They are going to be, again, just gathering together for a while. They're not going to be pushing forward straight away. Going to go with at least 4 or 5. Probably has it timed out. I mean, it's going to be hard because he doesn't know this map very well because he is a last minute replacement. And as he is a last minute replacement, we are going to be seeing, we are going to be maybe, he doesn't know exactly the time for an Overlord to arrive, but he'll maybe know roughly when an Overlord gets to his base and when he probably does have to start pushing forwards to catch Solar fully off guard. Just going to be seeing Marines on the way out, and here we go. They are starting to move on down. A little bit of an interesting path. Where did they go that way rather than this way? Well, either way, they're going to come around. This SCV is going to come forwards, and right now, Solar has seen no expansion, so Spinecrawler begins. Lings are on the way just before the Marines arrive. So maybe Optimus could have left just a few seconds earlier, but other than that, he's starting to push on forwards. Just the one Spine on the low ground here. Obviously, will not have bunkers to play with, as we're going to be seeing those Marines starting to deal a little bit of damage, and already a Ling and a drone going down. Some more units taking some shots, as well as the Marines continue to pull backwards here. Getting back into position to fight once again, and just going to be seeing these Zerglings continue to take quite a bit of damage. More Marines coming in forwards and looking to see what else is going on. Hatchery is going to be worked through as well. So what's going to be seeing that being worked against? We're going to be seeing these Lings coming in once more. Drones coming in too, and we're going to see the Spinecrawler continuing to burrow as we're going to be having drones still taking a little bit more damage. Marines again, just going to be looking to see what else is going on, as we are just seeing a few more Marines coming down towards the south side. All of this gathering up together to see what else is going to be going on. Ling's still just setting up here. Going to be seeing some more Marines continuing to get surrounded by those Zerglings. We're just going to be seeing again these Marines just working their way at the back of this hatchery. So looks as though Solar's got this under control. If Ling speed up, I mean, the hatch isn't going to fall, right? Surely not. I mean, Queens are here. Lings will come back. He shut down reinforcements. It looks as though this really is just about over. And there's going to be seeing Marines just dropping on down. And again, Lings from Solar heading back out onto the map once again. And that's going to be GG. Solar takes it 3-0. And he finishes the day strong. 2-1 in the group with 3 zeros over Optimus and Snoot. It's going to be a very, very hard kind of mountain to climb. Or a very kind of steep mountain to drop off of if Solar was to not make it through the group now. It's not guaranteed. There are some possibilities where that is the case. But Solar, he will be finishing this series 3-0, and he will finish in the group 2-1. Now, coming up next, again, we've changed the order of matches just slightly. We're going to be doing Snoot versus Optimus, Snoot versus Optimus, then Innovation Snoot, and Innovation Optimus in the near future. And apparently, Optimus had a bug where he couldn't walk down the ramp on the left. Huh. No, I mean, that was weird, right? Alright, so we're going to be investigating that a little bit later. We'll pass it on, and we'll be going into our next series here in just a few moments' time. Alright, let's do some love shouting to the people who are showing some love to the stream. What's up, Rifkin, my man, for the $75? How you doing? I'm not sure if that's... I'm pretty sure that's my thank you for casting on Base Trade the other day. Saying, you won't read this, you won't. Hashtag no balls. What's up, Rifkin? Thank you for the $75. And thank you for having me on Base Trade the other day. It was fun to cast. What's up, Hungry Hug Zero, who comes in with the Twitch Prime sub, as well as Panda Love 124. Thank you very much. What's up, Quiz DZXC QWESDZXC 123 with the Twitch Prime. Sorry, not a Twitch Prime, just a normal sub coming on through right there. What is up, New Routing coming in with the new sub, also coming through. Thank you very much. Online strategy, I don't know, comes in with the Cheer 100, saying my finger slipped. Thank you very much for the Cheer 100. Wurzak, my friend, how you doing? Always a champion. Great to see you at events as well. Sorry I didn't get to hang out more at Leipzig, by the way, buddy. I was super busy. It says, because you deserve every cent of it. Fuck all the haters. See you at Home Story Cup for a green one. Sadly, I don't actually think I'm going to be at the next Home Story Cup, and this is something which has nothing to do with the drama of the last couple of days, but hopefully we'll see you around somewhere again. Thank you for actually upgrading to a tier 3 sub, though. Thank you so much for the thank you so much for the tier 3 sub upgrade. Thank you very much indeed. Wush J comes in with the cheer 10,000. Dude, thank you so much. Says, don't let the bastard get you down, man. We love you. Thank you so much for the cheer 10,000. Can you get some love in the chat for Wush J? Thank you very much for the cheer 10,000, bro. Again, I always say this, but when people are very generous and they donate like this, it always feels as though you can't say thank you enough. So can we get a right big round of love and support in the chat for Wush J? Thank you so much for the cheer 10,000. Really do appreciate it, mate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We also have a new routine who apparently just in the chat subbed at tier 3. So, yeah, I guess you just upgraded to tier 3 sub. Thank you so much for upgrading to tier 3. So, thank you so much, New Routine, for upgrading. Sir Matty for the Twitch Prime sub as well. And FalkTX also being a champion. Guys, you don't have to do this, honestly. Like, it says, please be strong and ignore the jokes with the $200 donation, guys. Like, I feel bad. None of this was meant to be like a, hey guys, donate to me. We need the fucking money. Better donate, like, and anything like that. Now I feel really guilty because I feel like you're all donating because of it. Thank you so much for the $200, FalkTX, guys. Can we get a huge round of love in the chat for just some heroes of the stream today? FalkTX, Base Trade, Level BW, and Wush J for all of these insane donations. Guys, thank you so much, but please don't feel like you have to donate because I'm having a rough day and I decided to read too deep into Reddit comments. Guys, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Can I see some love in the chat, please, everyone, for people, for our supporters, as I just very quickly do have to make this map pool. Oh, sorry, I already made the map pool. Alright, so we're going to go into that in a moment or two. Snood versus Optimus. And Biker Horse coming in as well just now with the 6-month resub. Thank you for the half a year as well, buddy. Thank you very much. Got some love in the chat for everyone, please, says... Alright, we're going to get set up into this in a moment or two. And continue on along. Into our next matchup. Alright, so just waiting for Optimus to veto. Alright, let's get going again in a moment or two into our games. We have Travincal, Arashi, and Treachery is going to be part of this map pool. So we're going to jump into this and get this ready to go. Travancore to start us up again. So actually going to see this map back to back. I had this one actually in this map pool a little while ago. I'm not sure how this happened exactly. But anyways, I'm going to be going into this and getting ready to go. Alright, let's get going into game number 1 of this series then. Optimus versus Snoot. Alright, so just getting our casters in as well, and we'll be off and away into this, so let's see what's going to happen and get ready to go. I've got people actually PMing me in game asking why I'm just being an idiot today. So basically, guys, I mean, this is my best example I can give you. When you go on Reddit and you read a post where someone has gone and made a video. So this guy, this is the one example I'm going to give, and I don't really want to talk about it much more than this, because I've already made up my mind about things. But when you go on Reddit and you see people upvoting a video of a guy that says, Wardy doesn't cast games, he just thanks subscribers, Wardy just says useless shit all the time, and then makes a video where all he does is go to the start of the game and he's like, look, he's thanking his subscribers instead of talking about the hatch gas pool. He could say whether Zerg can take a third base. It feels kind of bad. Then the video continues and I say something that makes a lot of sense. And he's like, well, yeah, that doesn't count because, you know, I don't want it to count. That's what really makes me realize that some people are just not even worth the effort. And then people upvote that. It just makes me really not want to spend time putting hours and hours a day into StarCraft, if that's what people genuinely think. If they want to watch the 3 minutes of a game where I'm saying thank you or not talking about it and just ignore the other 10 minutes, that's the sort of reason why I'm just not really in a great mood. That plus players keep completely fucking me over for this event. I'm just done. I'm just completely fucking done. And that's why I'm not reading chat. That's why I'm just kind of taking this on with like a bit of a salty tone, because I just think so much of it is just absolutely ridiculous, and people are just cherry picking. They're using certain points, and I get it. Some people don't like my casting. You know what? Fine. If you don't like my casting, that's great. You think I need a co-caster? That's fine. I can appreciate that. It's not going to happen, but I can appreciate that. But when you start upvoting a video of this guy that's literally skipping through parts of the VOD where I'm saying actual analysis to the start of the game, and then he's like, yeah, see, he just never talks about it. And people are replying like, oh, yeah, God, that guy, what a dick. How dare he thank his subscribers? That pisses me the fuck off. And that's why I'm really actually kind of upset. So I like my subscribers, and you guys are fucking awesome. You deserve shoutouts. Fuck that guy. Bottom left of the map, our red Zerg player is Snoot. And to the top right, our blue Terran player, Optimus. Back on Travancore this time, Optimus will not go into this. So apparently he just had an issue running down this ramp. Apparently he couldn't come down this ramp with his Marines, so I guess we'll see what's going to happen here in the next few moments. Interesting that he couldn't get down. So obviously he proxied up here, and then he tried to come down here, but apparently his Marines got stuck, which we missed a little bit of. And then he actually pulled back around this way, come around here, and then cut in. But obviously that took so much longer that it really kind of slowed him down. So it was a little bit of a shame. But hey, that's one of the reasons we have the map contest tournament to, well, kind of find some bugs. I mean, it's mostly to test out how the maps work and stuff. Obviously, finding a bug here and there will happen. And that's one of the worst ones we've had so far, honestly, so it's not been so bad. Anyways, we're going to be seeing this link speed on the way up, and we're going to be seeing a couple Queens and some Zerglings on the way through as well. We're just going to be seeing Snoot continue to go along. Command Center going to drop down as well. So both players opening with a fairly standard expansion-based setup. And getting ready to go. Refinery comes into play, gets set up, and is just going to be going in towards the factory. The reactor coming up as well in the barracks, and just going to be seeing the Reaper already dancing around with these Zerglings as well over on this other side. As we are just going to be seeing again the Reaper poking around, prodding around, looking to see what it can get up to. As it jumps in towards the main base, yeah, Hellion's still on the way up, link speed coming in as well. We'll be finishing in a few moments. And again, just going to be seeing Queens, Lings continue to move around and just looking to see what else is happening. So we've been moving through here and just going to be seeing a Hellion joining up now as well, as we continue to move on along. Factory moves on. Starport moves on to the tech lab here. Viking will come up with the cloak on its way as well. I'm just going to be seeing these two Hellions continue to come across and towards the center of the map. Just going to be seeing more Hellions gathering together. Grenade goes down, and we will see a creep team again picked off. I'm just going to be seeing again more Lings coming through. Cloak Banshee coming up as well. And again, just going to be seeing Lings, Queens continue to come on out. Another hatchery coming down as well. A little bit of a slow start up here this game. Not really much to talk about. I guess we could talk a bit more about the map, which it's kind of awkward because we're not really meant to have the same map twice in a row. I kind of messed that up here a little bit, as you're going to see Optimus just pulling away here slightly, but in general, I mean, obviously third base comes up here, I guess the fourth base up towards this direction, or you could come down south. I guess we'll see how the creep spreads out. Maybe down south would be good, because the creep's going to naturally start to cover it in this sort of direction. So that could be pretty interesting, as we are going to be seeing those few Hellions setting themselves up and just trying to poke away. But the Queen's again doing a decent job as the grenade will go down. The Queen's getting blasted forwards already. Hellions coming around the left side, does pick off a creep teamer very quickly here. And again, the Viking through the south side as well to try and do a little bit more. So Viking through the south is going to see +1 missiles and +1 carapace on its way up, as we are going to be having the stim pack is starting from Optimus. So going in towards this bio play, going to be seeing a couple of engineering bays coming up as well. 1-1 going to be happening in the near future. And just going to be having the reactor coming down for the factory to get more racks up. So he's actually just going to go straight in towards that 5. What's this? Barracks. Oh, they're the engineering. For some reason, I don't know how I went about this, but I first thought for some reason those were barracks when they were building them, even though I just said they were engineering bays. I was like, what? Anyways, we're going to see 2 more barracks coming down. These Lings at the front pushing in and forwards, but we are going to see the command center just finishing. We are going to see the Banshees pushing away at those Zerglings through the center. Lair on the way up in the main base. Baneling Nest coming down. +1 missiles and +1 carapace still coming through in the main base. I'm just going to be seeing this extractor coming up on the natural. Some more Lings, a couple more Overlords getting set up in the front. And just continuing to go about all of this at the moment here. A couple of drones getting picked off to this top side. And we are going to be seeing this Viking coming along as well. Queen is able to pick off one of these Banshees here so far. And just going to be seeing what exactly will happen is you're going to be seeing another hatchet just coming up in the main base. And still have this Viking up here. Still intrigued to see if Snoot can get up and down this ramp with a drone. For now, he's just going to take this hatch down to the south side as well. So just going to be seeing the fourth hatch coming into play. You're going to see Lings coming across the right-hand side, just taking some map control, Bane speed as well. Hydra Den now as well to confirm our Ling Bane Hydra playstyle. As we are going to be seeing the combat shields coming into play from Optimus instead. Just going to be seeing a few more racks coming up, and again that armory coming in behind this mineral line at the moment. Extra reactors continue to come into play as well. They all actually cancel there for the moment, and they actually go into tech labs. I guess he already has a good set of reactors in the main base, right? So going into the tech labs to get some Marauder production available to him, and perhaps Ghost production a little bit later on as well. Just going to see those medevacs loading up full of Marines. Going to head across the map once again. Going to try and see what else they can do as Groove Spines is coming up. Hydras, Lings, Infestation Pit all finishing here as the Viking tries to poke at that Overlord, but it is getting pushed away. Creep spread coming up through the center of the map. And there's going to be seeing these medevacs unloading Marines once again off over to the edge of the creep. Creep teamers will start to go down here. As you're going to be seeing the little bit of a little Urubu bird just moving around. And again, those creep teamers being cleaned out. Marines going to try and push forwards again. There's more Marines, a couple of tanks coming out through the center of the map now. As you're going to see that again, that Balin speed going to be finishing up in the next couple of moments. Marines coming in, trying to target down a Queen, but Snoot just has so much in position. That medevac is so low, and Optimus failing a little bit there on his micros. Tanks now will siege, and Snoot actually doesn't see those tanks momentarily again. The vision is very important to talk about on this map, because you do kind of lack vision in certain locations because of these walls that usually you'd be able to see over if the walls weren't actually there. So it's very interesting. Again, this is why this is in the new map category, because it does reduce a lot of vision that you might usually expect to have. It's very interesting as we're going to be seeing these siege tanks moving forwards. Marines are gathering up together as well, going to get ready to fight once more. There's a bunch of creep humans coming down to the south side, and there's going to be seeing a Stim coming down south as well. He's going to fight the Queens on their own. I mean, that's not bad, but now the Lingbane and Hydra comes through, and Optimus, well, he has to kite away from this. He's going to lose a couple of tanks. He takes down quite a lot of Zerglings in the process, as we are going to be seeing more of these Lings just continue to drop. Marines turning around to fight once more. And these Hydras still there, though, able to kind of engage. There's a couple of medevacs will try and maybe drop from the top side here. Snoot, of course, is taking these fights kind of happily, and he knows that he's heading into Hive Tech, so it's only getting better for him in the next few moments. As we are going to be seeing these Lings again moving forwards. Banes and Hydras continue to set up towards the upper right-hand side. As we are just going to be seeing Marines continue to push on in, picking off another Hydra, so more Lings continue to come on through. As we do just have still Marines up to the top, going to be picking off a few more of those Lings. Some Hydras getting damaged as well. Just going to be seeing more Marines loading up into the medevacs and backing away up the top side once again. Ghost Academy on the way up here at the moment for Optimus, as we're going to be seeing more of these units just moving through the center. Just going to be having the Queen setting up as well, and again, just more Lings gathering back down to the south. Obviously, again, the Ghost Academy, they've transitioned into that later game tech here. Optimus wants to play kind of ghost-based comps, maybe even add some Liberators too. I just wonder if he's going into it kind of quickly. Okay, Stu's, Ultra Cavern's coming in. I'm just a bit afraid the same's going to happen as to what happened with Solar, where Solar basically got into that position where all of a sudden he is being, he's able to just hit a timing where there's just a whole bunch of damage dealt. The whole bunch of damage dealt as Ghosts come up, and it's that investment of the Terran and Ghosts, while the Zerg is just made hit Lingbane Hydra, and Ghosts aren't really made to deal with Lingbane Hydra. Like, sniping down a Hydra or sniping down 3 Hydras is nowhere near as valuable as sniping down 3 Ultras. So it's, 1 Ultra, of course. So it's a little bit interesting, as we're going to be seeing the Lingbane Hydra continue to come back in towards the center. 2 medevacs loading up. They're just going to come up to the top side. Ghost Academy is researching that cloak upgrade, so the Ghosts have the cloak to play with. Snoot invests into a couple of infestors. They're going to be becoming part of this composition as well here in the next few moments, as that Ghost again on the way out, and again just units in general coming up at the front. 2 medevacs loading up and coming down to the south side. Lings are setting up for a run by. As he runs into the Hydras, though. That could not have been more unfortunate for Optimus. At least he turns around and gets an infestor for it. As to the top side, this drop as well. Found by Zerglings. Snoot is just all over the map, able to deny Optimus from moving around. Those Marines load back up. This time he doesn't lose anything, though, Optimus. He's going to see those Lings working their way through those rocks. A few of the Lings peeling away in towards this tank army as well. As we are going to be seeing the Biogun Stim once again, and just going to be looking for a little bit more here. Meanwhile, to the top side, Lings and Banes still pushing on forwards, and, well, a couple of snipes coming down. I really don't know if you should snipe the Banelings, especially those ones in the front. I really felt as though Optimus just had enough to push that back there no matter what, as the orbital will come down and drop once again. More Lings, Hydras, and so on coming in through the top side. Changelings setting up to the top as well, and we're just going to be seeing this Overseer going to be coming through also, as we're going to be having the Ultras, Lings, still setting up here from Snoot. I'm going to be just seeing Optimus continue to set up into this right now. Marines and Marauders spreading out a little bit. Some more Creep Tumors still setting up, some more Changelings still setting up to this top side. Alright, going to see more Marines on the way out. Another Siege Tank coming into play. A Medevac as well. Another couple of tanks getting set up at the moment, and we're just going to be seeing another hatchery through the south. In the end, Snoot still hasn't moved up this ramp. I don't know if he can or not. Yeah, he can't. He's clipped around and he goes the long way around, so this ramp is unusable. That's obviously a big issue here. There's going to be seeing Marines and Marauders continue to push on forwards, and we are going to see this hatchery going to get picked off. So that goes down here, so we're going to see the Ultralisk is going to be Taking another couple of shots. Medivacs load up again. Cryptium is still pushing out through the middle. And now a nuke coming into play as well. I mean, Snoot's ZVT really is one that generally goes a long time. It generally takes a while to resolve because of the way it sets up. As we do see these two Medivacs loading up, and they're going to come up to the top side of the map themselves, as we see some Lings and Banes coming forwards too. While Ultras, Banes, etc. are also setting up right now, as we're going to be seeing these units going to stem and pick away at a few of these creep tumors. So a few creep tumors going down. Marine's going to load up once again, and just going to be seeing the hatchery down to the far south side. Some Hydras are going to move out also. Just a couple of Spiders on the way, plus 2 missiles, plus 3 melee. All on the way up here as the Nidus network also dropping down on this left side. A few more Marines just dropping out. And those Medivacs in the top left corner are going to be unloaded as we see again more Lings, Banes and Ultras gathering up. And Snoot obviously now wants to kind of launch himself in towards this position on the top side of this. And a few Ghosts going to come in and respond. They deal with Lings very effectively, even without having to cast anything. It's been a long time since we've seen the Nidus network as a method of harassing in the later stages of the game. You know, throwing down a Nidus in the mineral lines and just being able to use it as a way to pull the Terran player back heavily while setting up other attacks. It was a really popular strategy back towards the start of Legacy of the Void when Ultras were very powerful. And it really just made the Terrans just have no idea what to do. I mean, New Gettysburg late game when Ultras were just popping out in your main base of the Terran, you had to have like 3 or 4 Liberators dedicated to being on like Nidus duty, which basically like shutting down Overlords, and just as well as that, obviously at the same time, just like shutting down Ultras, besieging up on top of the Nidus every time it did pop down. Well, 5 bases coming up here now from Optimus, as Snoot did get up to this top side in the end and gets that hatchery going. Still 2 Medivacs of Optimus up here as well, which have just been inactive for a little while now. Meanwhile, Snoot finally getting towards that greater spire. Snoot always has been much more of a Broodlord player than an Ultras player. He really loves that, the Broodlord's, you know, his style. He oftentimes skips the Ultras to go straight into Broods depending on what he's playing, who he's playing. He really has always been one to play late game Broodlords. So Snoot's getting in towards his element here. As Optimus, well, he's no kind of amateur when it comes to longer games either. He really is kind of a bit of a veteran, honestly, because he's been playing a lot of mech. He's used to his games going long. In fact, some of the recent games of Optimus that I did cast were 30, 40-minute long games. These two in general could be looking towards a very long series right now, as we see some Corruptors to the top side. They're looking for some pickups as these Banes don't find anything. Just going to be seeing 2 more Ghost Academies continue to come up. Nuke is on its way. Off and away into the sky it goes. And it's going to drop down over on this base. Snoot's going to have to look around to try and find where that nuke is. Obviously, that's going to be a difficult thing. It looks though he hasn't quite found it, so it's going to connect on this mineral line. And that is 7 drones picked off just like that. Overseer's leading the charge. They're going to go down pretty quickly. Not sure that's what he really wants to do. As well, Optimus is taking down these rock towers. That blocks off this area now. And just in general, Snoot is not able to find a way to actually attack at the moment, it seems. He is going to be very hard-pressed to actually attack into these positions. Even if these rocks go down, this is a massive choke point into tanks and ghosts. How do you commit into that? I don't know if you do. I really don't know if you can, as we're going to be seeing these couple of command centers on the way up. Another nuke coming down on this far left-hand side. 2 more nukes on the way up at the moment, as we're going to be seeing again. Well, actually, a Fungal Grove or 2 on those ghosts. That's a huge deal because it cancels the snipes. 9 drones going down as the nuke has landed once again. Snoot's just not realizing those nukes on that base. That's hurting him, and he's going to see, well, 3rd time in a row. I mean, at this point, he's just looking to kill the hatchery. But that ghost is very visible. Well, is there a detection, I guess? I suppose not. It's on its way. It's not going to be there in time. That is going to be not quite a kill, but it gets low. Oh, I mean, maybe he could go for the actual just attacks with the ghost to kill it. Now he's going to try and nuke over on this side again, just changing it up with the same ghost. The Overseer surely has to be... Where are the Overseers? There's just no detection at the moment, and that's Snoot's issue. This nuke is going to be pulled away from at least, though. We'll lose an extractor, though, which is still something. Snoot trying to find a way to attack this. As actually, though, Optimus is going to bring the fight to Snoot. Moving in towards the center of the map, those goes. Find an EMP on the Hydras. That doesn't do anything, believe it or not, as now the snipes coming down, but a huge fungal growth on the army. Well, that's going to be devastating as well, but it's not too bad. So Optimus is able to keep on pushing forwards, it seems. 94 Lings in reproduction from Snoot. He's probably going to go into a ton of Banelings in the very near future. I mean, a ton of Banelings to roll on in towards these ghosts. Let's see what might happen here as those ghosts getting set up and ready to go. We're going to see another nuke dropping down in the very near future. As we're going to be seeing again these creep queens coming in, but this one ghost has found so much damage with these nukes. I feel like he's also a bit of a risk taker, standing closer and closer to this nuke every time. This one doesn't really connect on anything, now hits into the mineral line instead, and Snoot is just like, god damn it, can you stop? I think this ghost is finally going to go down, but now a nuke to the south side too, and it's nuclear warfare at the moment as Snoot is going to be stuck on that top side as well, and that nuke lands. Oh my god, this ghost has picked up 19 kills as another nuke picks up 10 more drones, and Optimus in the late game is having an absolute baller of a time. He's absolutely killing it. These nukes are insane as now Liberators, tanks and ghosts hold the middle of the map, giving him new bases to mine from, which he didn't have available to him previously. Another nuke to the south side, and we're just going to be seeing more of these Marines pushing through the center. A couple of creep tumors getting cleaned out. Continue to pick his way through all of these. He's going to see that nuke is going to drop down, and just going to be seeing, oh no, the ghost killed itself in the nuke. These couple of medevacs units are going to lift up and get away. Looks like he's just going to keep on dropping. Maybe not even interested in really doing much more with these. Just wants to keep on nuking and distracting as much as possible. As you're going to see those medevacs unloading on a couple of these different bases. As we are going to be seeing again these Lings, Banes, Corruptors all coming through. And, well, another nuke does actually land. Oh my god. Optimus just has like non-stop nukes. It just keeps on happening. He's got how many? 3 Ghost Academies is it? Or 4? 3. 3 Ghost Academies just making nukes all of the time, and Snoot's economy is disappearing recently. 39 workers killed, 300 Zerglings killed this game. As you're going to see, this Infestor unfortunately did not actually want to be here. It will also go down as finally the ghosts are being found. Finally they're being shut down, but god, that took a little while. Finally, Snoot does some cleanup. We're going to be seeing those Liberators sieging up again. Another nuke is going to be dropped down to the south side. And it's going to be dropping and finishing in just a moment or two. As we are going to see that dropping down onto this hatchery. So that's going to blow up and do a little bit more damage as Lings continue to move forwards. The Banes continue to move in as well. The Planet Fort is still getting to work as Liberators just sieging up. The Corruptors getting to work too. Working their way through those... working their way through those Liberators before the Ghosts actually push them back with the snipes. Snoot runs out of units here and might just have to disengage. He denied a base, which he might just have to be happy with for now. These Lings can't get out up that ramp because it's bugged out. Oh man, that's a massive issue. I think we might have to take Travancore away from being played in the future because that ramp is a massive deal at the moment. That's really hurting players all over the place now. It's funny because we've seen Travancore a couple of times. It's the first time last game we saw this had been an issue, and now we've seen it again. It's been a massive issue in this 20-minute game. Alright, so just going to be seeing Snoot running around here. His bank 5k, not quite maxed out just yet, as Optimus doesn't have as much of a bank, but is maxed out. His army supply way up and leading as well. His army is just deadly. 29 ghosts and 10 libs. A few tanks to back up, a few marines here and there. Another nuke coming down, just kind of all over the place. Cleans up some creep, keeps Snoot busy, keeps Snoot running around the map in general. You can see that nuke is about to land here, and as it goes down, a couple of these creep tumors will be picked off. Another nuke going to come down the same location. Maybe just try and capture like a transfer instead of units or something. A Liberator is actually on this base, and now he's going to nuke at the same time. Maybe hoping to catch the units as they come back in or come across. The Ghost is going to get picked off over here to the top side. The nuke will land, and Optimus is taking the opportunity to push further forwards with this army, pushing through this top side of the map. So Optimus is able to push further on forwards. Another creep team again picked off. Lings and Banes from the left, some Banes to the top, all running on in here and looking to see what they can do. As oh my god, these units are getting going. I know it's very laggy, guys. I'm not sure why the FPS is so bad at the moment, but these snipers are coming down. I mean, some Ghosts connected, some Banes connected with the Ghosts. The Ghosts were going on down as we're going to be seeing more and more of these Ghosts just sniping away, and Snoot, his economy just again being ravaged. I mean, again, okay, he stays at 65 drones, but compared to where he was at, he's lost 50 workers to those set of nukes, and you know, that's Ghosts, you know, that's workers he has to rebuild. It's used up a lot of his bank. He's not been replenishing his bank as quickly. And Optimus now maxed out. Snoot doesn't have many minerals left over. I think Optimus might have had enough harassment throughout this game to really basically push through and end this in the near future. 12 ultras are popping. If the snipes are good enough, that might not even matter, because if those ultras go down too quickly, that could be a massive issue. Well, it's going to be seeing the Ultra coming in from the top side. Doesn't get sniped just yet. It's just going to be seeing a Ghost getting set to go onto this hatchery once again. So a little bit more damage being done again. Snoot clawing his way towards being maxed out in the next few moments. Well, Ultras to the right, taking down those rocks. We've seen these Ultras in general, just looking to see what else might happen as we're going to be seeing these few Ghosts moving through the middle of the map and just going to be trying to drop some snipes down, surely. Should be 2 dead Ultras, has a scan as well, doesn't quite get the final snipe on that Ultra there. As this Ultra is not going to have a great time. Flamity Fortress will pick it off in the next few moments unless it backs away. No, Ultralisk didn't pull away in time. It's another expensive unit for Snoot that he just can't completely afford to rebuild at the moment. Liberator is going to unsiege and reposition as Optimus thinks about where he wants to attack into next. Another nuke on one of the healthier bases of Snoot down to the south side momentarily. You can just off-center at the moment, makes it a little bit harder to spot. He's going to be seeing these Ghosts sniping down the Ultras, and, well, the biggest issue is those Banelings, which he has to keep pulling away from. Has to now split up a little bit as he does kill off an Ultra. The Banes are mostly gone, so he can get back to sniping. Doesn't need to. The Liberators did a good job. Snoot will type out GG, as that's going to be Optimus taking game 1 of this series. So Optimus takes the first game. We'll be jumping into game number 2 in the near future. Getting set up to continue on in that. So let's get that ready to continue. Alright, so our second map here is going to be Arashi. Let's jump into this one and see what's going to happen on this map by Avex as well. So we've got a bit of an Avex map pool at the moment, so we get into Treachery as the next map. That'll be by Young Rustler. That'll be the final map of this series. As for now, we're going to be jumping into game 2 of Snoot vs Optimus on Arashi. So let's see how this goes. As soon as I find my players, I feel as though I'm just in too many chat channels at the moment. Alright. Invite everyone in and get ready to go. Alright. Let's go into this. Who are we missing? Emil. Get in here, Emil. Alright, players ready up, and we are off and away into game number 2. So it feels like downtime as we get off into this. Alright, let's jump on in and see what happens next. Game 2 on Arashi, Optimus versus Snoot. As we get continuing on. So top left hand side of the map, our blue Zerg player starting us off down a game. Our blue Zerg from Team Liquid, Snoot. We have our frames back, isn't that beautiful? Bottom right hand side, our red Terran player is Optimus. Let's see what he can go for in the next few moments. So game 2, Arashi is one of the rush maps here, and we'll see if it is going to be used in that way by these players. It's a much shorter rush distance up through the center of the map. So coming up through the middle, you have this little pathway here, you get up to the top. But what gets interesting to me is that it's a rush map that gives you a fairly easy third base. So, Obviously, you expand here initially, you come out, you've got this natural, and then you come out the natural into the third right there. And obviously, it's up a couple of different ramps, but it's much easier to take than you might usually expect. There is some rocks to the side you have to think about as well, though, so it's a weird mix of like, hey, take 3 bases, but watch out, because I am potentially going to attack you from all directions very quickly, because there's basically no rush distance on the map. So very interesting here, as you're going to see that spawning pool coming up in the main. We are going to be seeing the extractor on its way down, going to be finishing up in the near future as well. So again, into this, and just going to be seeing the extractor about to finish. Spawning pool coming up as well. As we are going to be having the Reaper on the way up from Optimus in the main base. So that's going to be finishing in a moment or two. And as that finishes, it'll head across the map to be able to start dancing with those Zerglings, pick up that early information. And of course, with the factory coming down, we begin to see just what the follow-ups here are going to be in the near future. So looking towards that, as we're going to be seeing that command center is going to be coming up on the natural. And again, Reaper getting ready to go across the map. Factory will be going across here soon too. Alright, Reaper towards the upper left-hand side. Zergling coming down the left, and just going to be having command center on its way in the middle as well. Couple of things down the right hand side coming in towards the natural as well, and just going to be seeing this SEV being able to away at, as we are going to be having the Zergling getting some damage dealt. Some more SEVs coming down this ramp also, and just going to be fighting away at this. So Reaper comes in. Going to be seeing the Zergling taking some more damage as well, and the factory going to swap over to the reactor. As you see that Zergling getting taken down. A couple of Hellions on the way up. Tech Lab coming down the barracks. A starport being built as well. As this Reaper coming up the top side of the map to see what is going on. A link speed upgrade is continuing to come on through. I'm just going to be seeing the Hellions going to be popping and getting ready to go as well. Barracks moves off, and the starport will be able to get something done here as well in the near future. First couple of Hellions arrive. So just expand up towards the third base. We're going to see that Medevac coming down here as well. So he's already setting up in towards that, of course. So Medevac coming out. I'm just going to be seeing the Reapers and a couple of Hellions continuing to fight away at this here. Grenade goes down, blasting that Queen backwards a little bit. And just going to be seeing Optimus gathering up once again. So gathering up, getting ready to go, and just going to be seeing a few more drones on the way out also. There's a couple more Queens, another few Zerglings coming into play. That Liberator's coming out of the main base. And again, those few Hellions just working their way through that hatchery. As that takes some more shots, they'll just continue to be nibbled away at. Optimus going to turn around and start fighting onto that Queen again. Still a little bit more damage as well. Medevac's going to be loading up these Hellions. Again, set to go. And again, just going to be having the Liberator on its way out of this main base. Medevac's up the top left with the Hellions inside. Will change location, and just going to be seeing the double Evo chamber coming down then from Snoot now. As extra racks coming down, Optimus getting set up into this. Just bioplay once again. I mean, I'm imagining he's going to be looking for a similar start to what we've been seeing in the last couple of games from him. They attempt to go in towards a heavy ghost count into that later game setup, because obviously he's very comfortable there. I think very apparent just in that last game that he can play the late game against one of Europe's very best late game players. So he's probably feeling pretty good about it and looking to not really change much up, although right away here, Optimus finds 10 worker kills and still has Hellions alive in the natural. I mean, this is just damage for Snoot, which is going to be difficult to recover from. We're going to see a couple more of these Zerglings still going down. Morling's running in, and, well, I mean, 17 workers. This is just crazy. He dropped back down on the third base, which is where those extra drones are going down, and Optimus has just ravaged Snoot's mineral lines here. 18 workers dead at this stage of the game. That's a third of Snoot's economy. Now he's on 36 drones. He's in a little bit of a difficult spot to continue on. What do you actually do? Well, Optimus goes into extra barracks and the stim comes up. He'll get into aggressive opportunities, which might just straight up kill Snoot, now that Snoot has a lack of economy based on how this game has been going. And you see those Marines again just pushing away the few Zerglings from the front door. And we've seen more of these Lings coming back up through the center of the map, coming in towards the top side. 1-1 melee upgrades coming in from Snoot here And that's going to be finishing in just a few moments. Stimpack continuing along, and going to see the 1-1 upgrades as well. Also going to be finishing up as we're just going to be seeing that lair coming down. Lings, queens, creep tumors, all setting up. So just going to opt for the Roach Roar in here, even though he is going melee upgrades. I mean, Snoot is one player who's always liked that Roach Ravager style. Now with melee upgrades, he's looking to play something more like a Ling Ravager style, most likely in the near future. And I'm just going to be seeing that Siege Tank on the way out of the main base, and we're just going to be seeing SCVs dropping down some more depots, just building up walls. I mean, I guess it's a very difficult map to wall off, right? Because you've kind of got to have a wall here once those rocks go down, and here, and maybe even out here. Right now, Optimus is playing with no walls, and that could be a mega issue for him running later into the game. You know, as he goes later into the game, we could just see Ling Runbys just completely shutting him down, and really causing a lot of issues for him. Most likely, as you're going to be seeing those Marines, the tanks, gathering up together. 1-1 upgrades, the Roach Speed coming through, and we're just going to be seeing the Infestation Pit is on the way up, as the Banner Nest is about halfway done as well. Combat Shields is also coming through here from Optimus, and we're just going to be seeing the Marines and tanks into the Medivac, so he's going to keep on keeping up the pressure. Remember, he did a lot of damage early, and that makes it difficult for Snoot to survive future attacks, and Optimus trying to take advantage of that now by attacking sooner rather than later. And right now, Snoot's in this weird position where he's got a few Lings and a few Roaches, but not really a lot of either, and so an attack like this could become very difficult and just deadly. I mean, those Lings run in, they do absolutely nothing. So already pretty much the Lings are gone. Now it comes down to the Roaches. We have two tanks here. How do you actually fight this? Well, you just kind of don't. They don't have +1 missiles either, so they're not going to deal with these units super quickly or anything. And just look at the damage these tanks are doing. Oh my god! Snoot is just draining the units at the moment. Queens will transfuse each other as these Marines have to be a bit careful. I mean, he'd like to still fight with the tanks, of course, in general. Is he target firing as well? I think he is a little bit, because he's not just hitting the units in the front with those tanks. He is target firing Queens. This is so good. If he was not target firing here, he would not have hit those Roaches every time. He would not have hit the clumps of units, and he would not have done anywhere near as much damage. So Optimus with some great control on not just the Marines, which is always kind of pointed out when the Terran player plays, but on these tanks as well, using that target fire to make the most of this push, which he's rewarded with by killing off this 4th base. So that goes down. So this 4th hatchery does fall here. So we're going to be seeing more of these tanks coming up the left-hand side. Marines as well. Also coming up in this direction. Continue to get set and ready to go into the next little stage of this, and just going to be seeing these Marines already picking off an Overlord. Again, continue to push on through. Going to see a couple of drones taking some damage. We're going to be seeing tanks still just sieging up. Marines going to stem forwards and going to get rid of one Ravager. Maybe a second. No, not quite. Not just yet. That Hive still coming through here at the moment for Snoot, as you're going to see this Medivac unloading over in the natural expansion. Optimus getting some Marines into this mineral line where drones will start to drop. So drones going down. 5 workers killed. This Medivac loads up, comes back up to the top side as more Marines of Optimus going to come in up the left. Try and see what they can do as well. Gets rid of a Queen. Going to go for a few more drones, and just going to be seeing a bunch of workers going down. 15 workers picked off as Roaches, Ravagers, Queens pushing in over the left-hand side here. Again, those Marines dropping down behind the main base. Mineral line doing a little bit of damage as well. 2-2 upgrades on the way for both players. Just continue to set up in towards that. He is just going to be seeing, though, Optimus really has just done too much damage. Now remember, even if we do see Optimus take the 2-0 lead, we still do cast the 3rd and final game of the series. Now Snoot cleans that up and still just pushing through the center as Optimus is coming in towards the upper left-hand side. A few more Marines just gathering up together as well, and gonna get ready to keep on pushing here, Optimus, as he comes all the way in towards the upper left, and just gonna be seeing those tanks gonna get ready to start sieging up and seeing what they can do. Some corrosive bowels coming down. Queens are gonna start taking some damage, as we're gonna see moving to the left-hand side of this hatchery, taking some shots as well. So a little bit more damage being done once more here. There's again tanks sieging. The Ravagers already taking some shots. I mean, there's just so many tanks in the back as well, and the Ravagers go down so quickly here, especially with the Marines firing on them. And as you can see, Snoot, he might just about clean this up, but in the long run, he's not going to have enough to keep going, and that's why he has to type out GG. Optimus takes game 2, and he does take the series here against Snoot, but not the... I mean, there's still a 3rd map to play, and so we're going to go into that here in a moment or so, as our 3rd map will be Treachery. I'm actually interested to see what happens here on Treachery. to continue on along. So I'm going to be going into this in a moment, and let's see what's going to happen very, very soon. All right. Optimus dealing some damage early. Following up from there, able to bring home that victory. Alright, let's get set up and ready to go. Just need Snoot to swap to Zerg, and we'll be into Treachery now for the final map of this TVZ. Then we're going to have 2 series remaining, the TVT between Innovation and Optimus, and then Snoot versus Optimus to wrap up the day. But then we actually have also Nurture versus Parting, so actually we have 3 series left after this one. And Nurture Special 2, so that's all coming up a little bit later on, as we get that set up and ready to go. So waiting for Snoot to switch race and to ready up. And once he's able to have done that, we can jump into this final game of this matchup though. Snoot 0-2, man, not having a great day, has not taken a map yet in this group. Really is quite rough for him so far, as we're going to be setting up into this as well. Snoot swaps races, and there we go. We can start this off and get going into our next game. Treachery will be our map for this ZVT Game 3, Snoot versus Optimus. Alright, so let's go into this. Let's see what happens. Loading on in. Let's just go have a look at the map. More interesting than the out-of-game screen. As we jump on in, let's see what is going to go down. To the top left-hand side, our blue Terran player from Team Revolution. It is Optimus. He's going up against the red Zerg to the bottom right-hand side from Team Liquid. It's Snoot. Final game between these two. As again, yes, Innovation will be coming out and playing again after this matchup. He'll be coming out to play Optimus initially, and then Snoot to wrap up our day on Group D. But again, we have to finish up Group A today so that we have a round of 8 bracket ready for tomorrow's quarterfinals, which will be starting around the same time as we started today. Overlord coming up towards the top side of the map here from Snoot. Going to be setting up and getting ready to go. Hatchery coming down. Hatchery first then, so nothing crazy, not like a gas pool hatch, which could get him a couple of lings out and maybe open up more aggressively. Just a lot more standard in general here, as you're going to be seeing that barracks coming up at the front. Already rallied down to the low ground, that SCV as well, by the way, so he's just going to be expanding. I mean, when don't you expand right away in the TVZ? Pretty much never. I mean, the expansions are just like the go-to. I can't think of the last time I saw one base TVZ play. I mean, obviously, if you see some proxied barracks going down, right? But other than that, there's nothing that really works in terms of delaying the CC. I guess very rarely you might see something like a faster factory before, like maybe like a marine factory, and that does delay the CC a bit, but not massively still. As we are going to be seeing the command center patrolling around. Going to drop down the command center, command center there. CV expanding. Again, exactly what we were kind of expecting. As we set up on Treachery, a map by the young Rustler. Someone who actually quite enjoyed the map of last map contest. I just feel that we haven't seen much of Treachery because the few games we have seen on it have been a little bit too fast for my liking. So hopefully Snoot and Optimus will give us one of those longer games again to really see this map be kind of played on, be felt out. It would be nice to see. Reaper coming down towards the bottom right-hand side of the map here to see what's going on. We're going to see what's going to happen, and just moving down to the south side. First of all, Link Speed though is going to be coming up here as well. As the Reaper moves in, just going to be kind of fighting away onto that drone and just going to be seeing it going down in the next couple of moments. Nice first pick off there. Snoot made a spore crawl off of one of the drones, but just didn't save the second one, unfortunately. As the Reaper backs away from those lings, we'll see the starboard coming up. And again, double gas, not an immediately super fast free CC, but we could see the free CC coming in the next couple of minutes as well. As we're going to be seeing a tech lab starting to drop down on this barracks. Couple of Hellions on the way out. And Ling Speed will be finishing in the very near future as well. So Ling Speed going to be finishing up soon too. As we do just have the Reaper being pushed away by the Queen. And the Spore Crawler also on the way up right now in the front of the Natural. Lings continue to push that Reaper away up into the center of the map, and again just a little bit up and down as that Reaper looks for some fights. And there's a couple of Hellions coming through and just going to be firing away at some of those Zerglings. Raven on the way up as well. We haven't really seen much Raven play in TVZ, I have to say, even on the new patch. So actually kind of excited to see a Raven from Optimus and see what he's going to try and use it for in these next few minutes. So getting set up and ready to go into this right now. Is going to be seeing a couple more Hellions on the way out, and just going to be seeing what else they can do, as we're going to be seeing a Zergling coming back in towards the main base. All the way up here, looking to see what's going on. And again, Factory just going to be dropping down as well. So Factory drops down as well, that Zergling comes into the main, and again, just another couple of Hellions firing away, but that will be it for now. Reaper will take some more damage. A grenade goes down, and the Queens do get blasted backwards. We're going to be seeing this creep tumor is going to be picked off there. Again, Reaper and a few Hellions just setting up in the center of the map. Stimpack on the way through as well from Optimus, and just going to be seeing these units coming all the way back up to the top side. Couple more Queens on the way out, some more Zerglings coming through as well, and just going to be seeing that Raven coming all the way back behind this mineral line, and just going to be hiding away there. As we're going to be seeing Creep continue to spread on out in towards the center. Creep going up in just both directions, and yeah, again, that Raven just in the back, just sat around, and again, a couple more Evo chambers coming down. More drones on the way up, and reactors. Really, another game which looks very similar to the last couple. Wait to see exactly what style Snoot wants to play, but if Evo Chambers initially, probably melee upgrades once more, as we do see. Last game was a bit weird, kind of like the melee upgrades into the roaches didn't really work out, but of course he was so far behind. This game Optimus didn't deal as much damage early game, so he's going to use this Raven now and again for auto turrets, and he will force the drones off the mineral lines. And he gets 1 or 2 kills, but really again nothing substantial. The lost mine time is the biggest thing happening at the moment. As we do see a lot more Zerglings coming across the map here. Going to be attacking on in. This SCV will go down on the wrong side of the wall off, unfortunately. Marine's obviously not fast enough to kill all of those Lings in time to save it. As we are going to be seeing again, 1-1 starting on into play. So, the 1-1 on either side, both players are keeping up with each other. And Snoot's starting to establish that creep spread onto the map, which obviously usually does go a long way to helping out. As we're going to see another couple of creep teamers coming down here. And again, just going to be seeing the barracks pumping out a few more Marines. More of these things all the way down to the south are maybe going to get ready to come out into the center once again. Splitting up just a little bit as we're going to be seeing the auto turret coming down, and it does get picked off in total, but 4 work is not bad. And Snoot lair coming through. In this stage, still a very passive game. Now, Optimus again, as his first medevac start to come out, that's the sort of stage he's going to want to start moving around the map properly. Start to actually really deal some damage here. He's going to see, he's even going to unsiege the tank, so he might go for a bit of a larger push. He does have these Hellions, they can morph into Hellbats, and that would join this fight as well. He's making the armory anyways for the 2-2s. It's not like it's something additional he has to invest into. It's just an added benefit of having kept those Hellions alive throughout the earlier stages of this game. Infestation pits dropping down here from Snoot as well. The 1-1 melee upgrades are going to be finishing very shortly. As we do just again see Marines, tanks down through the left. Hellions in the center. Still poking their way through some of these Queens, and again a scan will come down to start cleaning up some of this creep spread now. Very nicely done. Hellions are still fighting up to this top side, and just going to be seeing the Queens taking some more damage. More Queens over to the left, as we're just going to be seeing Optimus has to back away a little bit. He's mostly just pushing out in a way that the creep spread now, which is generally what you want to do with 1-1. He's actually going to try and maybe run by with the Italians, but Lings are on their way over. And as they move into Hellvast, Lings is actually going to think twice, but I guess there's no real reason to rush into it, right? Why run into that fight if you could just wait a few more moments and get a couple of queens out and down that direction instead? 2 more tanks siege up as Marines are setting up just out the front as well. More Zerglings up the left-hand side. I'm going to see another couple of Hellions getting picked off as well. Lings running right in towards this third base. There's going to be seeing Marines stimming the tank sieges up. I'm just going to be seeing in general here Marines medevacs from Optimus. Going to drop into the main base, so a little bit of a drop here getting off for him as Hive Tech comes through. See some Corruptors from Snoots. So playing a Lingbane Corruptor style is fun. Obviously he already has the Infestation bit finished as well, so you can go into some units off of that. With the Hive coming up, his Vipers will be available to deal with the tanks a bit better. And let's see how this goes. And also, I guess the Corruptors will help to deal with these drops, something which Snoot hasn't really had throughout these games so far. As, oh man, though, Optimus is just in multiple locations, and right now Snoot just doesn't seem capable of keeping up. He's just a little bit slow to each one of these fights all the time, and that's painful. 10 drones going down. These tanks are actually doing quite a bit more as well. He targets down the Banes, which means the Marines can actually unload and fight here once again for a bit longer. Able to keep on fighting against more of those Zerglings, lifting up again. I'm just going to be seeing creep spread pushing out in towards the center of the map. So that's something that Snoot does have. He's keeping his creep out there, even if Optimus is trying to slow it down. I mean, the presence of creep does just slow down a Terran player in general, as Ultra's Cavern comes up at the same time as the Ghost Academy, and we're getting into that later stage of the game once again. As we see 2 medevacs going to load up, they head to the right, and this drop play is continuous from Optimus. He knows he needs it, because otherwise he just does not have a way to really keep Snoot busy, to keep Snoot from just all-out kind of teching, attacking, and just control the map with all of that creep, etc. If you leave a Zerg alone, it's just, you know, the best time possible basically to ever be a Zerg. If you're just left alone to do your own thing, and that's what Optimus is not doing. Constant pushes, constant drops throughout the game to keep this going. 2 medevacs down the right-hand side. Going to be dropping in towards the main shortly, or maybe even just stopping short and picking off this 5th hatchery. Although Snoot double expanding, picking off one of the bases. I mean, it'd be nice, but it wouldn't be game ending or end of the world sort of stuff. And so we are going to see those medevacs into the main in just a moment. The medevac's actually going to hit this left-hand side too, so he will get rid of one of these bases, it seems. Snoot currently dealing with the attack in the main, has not split units away to deal with the left side. He cancels instead, content that he is going to get a drop-off. Now, kind of keep this base alive to the right-hand side as he picks off one of those drop ships. One of the medevacs goes down. Corruptors still chasing in and continuing to fight their way through this medevac. It goes down here pretty much instantly as we're going to see the Lings going for a surround and just going to be able to pick off a few more Marines. To the left-hand side, more of these Lings coming in. That's another set of the bio picked off here. Snoot maxed out, and Optimus at 140 supply. I'm a little bit concerned if Snoot just goes and attacks. What the hell is Optimus going to do about it? As you are going to be seeing more of these units just coming up this left-hand side. Lings going to start working their way through these rocks as well. So they're working their way through this right now, and as it gets taken down, obviously you can just come up towards the upper left side to potentially run on in here. A couple of Corruptors are chasing down medevacs again. Optimus has not been allowed to have the drops lately, and as momentum swings into Snoot's favor, he really is making the most of it here as he begins to set up, but obviously the Sim City is going to be difficult to break. The Ghost Count's starting to rise. Maybe Snoot doesn't quite have the chance that Solar did that one time to kind of kill Optimus just before the Ghost numbers really begin to rise on up. Corruptors picking off a full medevac once again. An empty medevac is left over. And as you see at the same time, units just unloading over here, picking off a queen, another creep tumor or two as well. And again, just continue to deal damage with this. We're going to be seeing Marines continue to be lifted up and to move away over to the right side. More Ghosts and Marines in the center. Final set of upgrades from Optimus will be finishing shortly, slightly ahead of those of Snoot, but with the way that he's building up, I really highly doubt Optimus will make an aggressive move on the map in the next couple of minutes. He really wants to wait for more Ghosts. The more Ghosts he has, the better this is going to get for him as the game goes through. A lot of units into the center of the map right now. Lings coming in, already those Ghosts, a few of them going down actually. Snoot, does he have a Bane on this? He does. He does have centrifugal hooks, so why does he not just morph in some Banes? I'm intrigued. Just really keeping himself away from that. I mean, he has a lot more minerals than gas at the moment, so maybe he doesn't want to spend that gas on Banes. Instead, he wants to use it to create tech units, but again, as the ghost count rises, Banelings in general are going to be a big part of this. And there we go, he does now morph in Bane, so he is going to be Banelings he spends that gas on. Obviously, it's just going to be back at home. I was thinking, you know, why doesn't he just morph in Banes and attack? But obviously, maybe he just doesn't want to commit that hard. For the Lings, it's a bit different. He got in with 3 ghosts, and he's able to just got in, killed 3 ghosts, and he's able to pull back very quickly as well. As we do see the medevac hunted down, it falls, and these queens should be able to clean up the last couple of marines, if only very slowly, doing 1 damage at a time because of those armor upgrades. Feels bad, man. Queens, they try. Eventually they will clean it out as Snoot goes to the top right hand side, so looking to engage in from this sort of angle, maybe in towards his Planty Fortress, which did take the gold base initially for Optimus. Snoot didn't even think about moving towards the gold again. Expanded towards the Terran player, no thank you. He'd much rather stay kind of in his own corner of the map, as far away from the Terran player as possible, to stop those rally pushes, to stop the quick counter attacks. That can be so very deadly if you needed kind of a few moments to get Banelings up, etc. Snoot half the map covered in creep. That is his to control here. As you see some marines scanning and stimming to try and get rid of it, but it's just not been too successful because Snoot is again in multiple locations defending, and at most he's lost 1 creep tumor. Not really worth the units which Optimus gave up for that. Rollings and Ultras coming in from the left hand side. And as you can see, these Corruptors caustic spraying down this orbital. First snipes of the game starting to come through, and the first Ultra will go down. Well, he actually loses a bunch over here. Obviously has to relocate the base. Is now going to see this Planetary Fortress maybe in some trouble as well. Bane's here too. Those Banes could just target themselves towards those Marines and those Ghosts. Oh my god, the Ghosts are going to start taking damage. He'll kill a fair few of them, as the Banes will help to finish off the Planetary as well. Just enough Banelings there from Snoot to kill the Planetary after getting rid of some of the Ghosts as well. 19 workers killed an Optimus this game. He's not being allowed an economy. He's not being allowed to just mine up himself, really, like he was being allowed to back on the first map of the series, back on Travancore. Just going to be seeing those Overseers still coming up the right-hand side. A few more Broodlords, a few more Ultras on the way out, and the Ghost Economy going to be finishing again in the near future. Marine's going to go down once more, and just going to be seeing those units getting picked off. A lot of Changelings coming down too. Just going to be seeing Ghosts, Marines, Medevacs. Just going to be setting themselves up. Those Changelings, though, getting a lot of info, and Optimus has not realized it just yet. So that's a little bit of a shame, as we do see the Carapace upgrade on the Great Aspire about to finish up. Optimus still setting up on the right-hand side. Snoot still setting up on the right-hand side as Optimus just playing kind of without Liberators for so long here is so interesting that he just purely depends on Ghosts. I mean, he's adding some Liberators on now, but I wonder if he even adds them to the army or if he just sends them across the map to harass. Looks like they are going to siege up here. I guess that's what he did back on Travancore as well. Siege them up but much later on, as we're going to see the Ghosts snipe down 3 Broodlords right away, and that's a 4th. Ultras though from the flank, and oh my god, those Ghosts have to get away behind the mineral line here, and they're going to take some damage. The Banes begin to connect, and there's more Banes rolling through. I think Optimus is dead here right now, because he's losing every single Ghost, and that is so difficult to recover from, as these Ultras are just destroying everything. The Ghosts that are left don't have energy to really add into play now, and so they can't snipe down the last few Ultras. Tanks are going down as well, and again, it looks as though this is just turning out to be a disastrous ending to Game 3 here from Optimus, as Snoot will get his first map win of the day. With Innovation left to play, though, it's going to be difficult to see him doing much at all. As you are going to see those Marines finishing off that Ultralisk here, and Snoot still just flying around with these Overseers backing away over to the right-hand side as his reinforcements coming up. And this was the difference this game. Optimus didn't have much of a bank to fall back onto, and Snoot most definitely did. Already 170 supply, getting ready to rock and roll as he attacks up top, and Optimus knows it's over. GG, he taps out, and that is Snoot taking a map to finish off the series. So Optimus is still the winner of the series, 2 games to 1. Again, we play all maps of the series, no matter what situation. We are going to be going into our next game here in just a few moments, which is going to be Innovation versus Optimus. So we're going to be going into that in the next few moments. We're going to swap back to NA and get that ready to roll. Just have to make ourselves the map pool for this as well. Alright, what haven't we seen today? Lost and Found, we haven't seen 16-bit, we haven't seen today either. We haven't seen Cyberus, we haven't seen Back, 5 Gesicht, we haven't seen Digital Frontier. I do. Alright, let me just go get Innovation off the Korean server then, because he's probably still there. And we'll get Innovation onto the American server and get going into our second last series of Group D.